चलते हैं विदेश मंत्रालय के प्रेस वार्ता में.
Get to the specifics. Let me just highlight that in many ways for India, this is an exceptional relationship, and in fact, when we are just cleaning up the joint statement, it should be out very soon. I think the word which we have used there is fraternal friendship. And I say it's a very unique relationship because, I mean, all of you are familiar with the history of this relationship, with the close bonds that we have with Bangladesh, and also appreciative of the progress that we have made in recent years in many ways. I want to set this relationship itself in a context. You know, we have in this government spoken of neighborhood first policy, which is an expression used to underline the priority and the importance we give to neighboring country relationships. But I think if there is one example of where the neighborhood first has actually yielded good results on both sides, it is the case with Bangladesh. We approach this relationship in many ways, and this is a point which Prime Minister just made in the speech from the ceremony that I'm coming from, that today India feels that our progress, our prosperity should be shared with our neighbors. And it is that sense of common purpose, of shared purpose, which actually drives our relationship with the immediate neighborhood. In the case of Bangladesh, of course, there are some other very unique factors, a lot of it from the location and some of it from the history. Now, I mentioned to you the ceremony which was held at the Manekshaw Center. Earlier today, after the conclusion of the talks, at the time when Prime Minister was making the Prime Ministers were making the press statement, you would have seen that our Prime Minister, along with his Bangladeshi counterpart, released the Hindi translation of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's unfinished memoirs. They also unveiled the naming of a street in his honor. What was Park Street today would be Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujib Street. I think these, you know, again, many of you would have noted yesterday that Prime Minister went well beyond protocol requirements in personally receiving the Bangladesh Prime Minister at the airport. I think all these in many ways testify to the point I'm making about it being a very special relationship. In terms of the talks today, there was a one-on-one between the two Prime Ministers, followed by delegation level talks. I think together it was about an hour and a half, and of course then they had lunch together. A lot of it obviously went into the assessing where the bilateral relationship is at this time, and I think both of them were very satisfied with the progress that we had made. And you will find that expressed when you see the outcome document, where we are really genuinely appreciative of the socio-economic development in Bangladesh under Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's leadership. We also are very admiring of her consistent efforts to combat terrorism. And I think, again, I would urge you to look at Prime Minister's speech at the Manekshaw Center event, where he spoke on both these issues at some length. Now, essentially, in this visit, we have concluded 22 agreements covering a number of spheres. In the area of development, cooperation and trade, we have 9 agreements. In high technology and science and technology space, nuclear, we have 4 agreements. There are, I think, 5 defense agreements or 6? 5. 5 defense agreements, as well as some agreements pertaining to people-to-people contacts, media, etc. More than the agreements themselves, I think we have taken some very practical, concrete steps and gestures which take the relationship forward. Again, some of it was covered in the Prime Minister's statement, press statement. Some of it was covered in his Manekshaw Center speech. We announced measures which specifically focused on the welfare of the Mukti Jodhas in Bangladesh, easier visas for 5-year visas for them, greater support, educational opportunities for their children. And in terms of some of the people-to-people measures that we have used the opportunity of the visit to look at, it is to make medical visas more liberal for Bangladeshis. In the past, they could come for treatment but not for diagnosis, so we've sort of liberalized that. We made it easier for movement of Bangladeshis in terms of port, people who come on ships and also on inland waterways. So shore leave issues, which port do they enter, they don't have to go back by the same port. Overall, the visa situation has been liberalized greatly, and I think High Commissioner actually deserves a lot of credit for the fact that today we essentially have a walk-in situation in Bangladesh where visas is concerned, which was not the case earlier. Some of the other developments I think you would have seen in terms of the flagging off of 2 trains today and a bus, the Kolkata-Khulna-Dhaka bus, as well as the Kolkata-Khulna train, right? And also there was a rake which was carrying fuel to Parvatipur. So again, this both sort of underline the movement between India and Bangladesh, as well as the connectivity, the economic content of that. And we were very appreciative that the Chief Minister of West Bengal was gracious enough to join today in the flagging offs, as well as for the lunch which the Prime Minister hosted for his Bangladeshi counterpart. In addition to these, I think we have used this occasion to expand a lot of scholarships and training that we do with Bangladesh. In the past, we have trained Bangladeshi civil servants, almost 1,500. I think roughly about 1,200 have been done. We are now looking at the possibility of training judicial officials as well. And we found that the training we have done in the past, the training of DCs of Bangladesh in India, that this has been actually a very good mechanism to build closer cooperation between the two countries. Now, other than the agreements and the training connectivity issues that I mentioned, I want to draw your particular attention to the lines of credit that we have announced. We had earlier 2 lines of credit to Bangladesh, the first one for $862 million, the second one for $2 billion, which was when PM had gone to Dhaka. The first one, the projects I think are coming along. The second one, the work has been done so that the projects have been identified and actually progressed to various levels. This time around, the line of credit is for the amount of $4.5 billion. It is the largest, or perhaps among the largest, lines of credit we've done for a single country on a bilateral occasion. I mean, in many ways, since there is today a lot of emphasis on faster delivery of projects by MEA, what we have done is already started to identify projects which both sides can state would be the ones we'll do under the third LOC. And they are really quite an impressive list. They include 2 ports, the Paira Port multipurpose terminal, as well as the dry dock in Chittagong, includes and the upgradation of Mangla Port, actually 3 of them, 4 laning of many roads, upgradation of an airport, new transmission lines, new railway lines. So a lot of new infrastructure commitments that we are taking to Bangladesh. These are 17 projects which have been identified as utilizing the third LOC. And again, the message of that is really that India is a very positive, very effective development assistance program. It's in our interest that, again, connectivity, infrastructure at the border, beyond the border, in our neighboring countries grow. I think these are really true win-win situations for us. Some of the issues which the non-economic, non-development issues which did come up for discussion in broad terms were issues related obviously to the region. And as you know, Bangladesh has also been facing the challenge of terrorism. That's something which found mention in different ways, both publicly and in the discussions. And again, you will see in the joint statement that we have really very strong common positions on it. So overall, I would sum it up as really an exceptionally strong visit, of course still in the making. The Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina would be meeting the Vice President immediately after my briefing and calling on the President tomorrow. She also has a business meet here on the 10th. And again, I should tell you that we expect a lot of business agreements, actually running to billions of dollars to be concluded during the visit. And we see that today as reflecting the climate of confidence which Indian business is responding to in Bangladesh, which wasn't always the situation in the past. So as I said, a very good visit, a very strong visit, still in the making. In many ways, I think the chemistry between the leaders was very visible on the television screen and on the platforms that they shared. A very strong meeting of minds and a very robust agenda of where we are going. I think we have a lot on our plate, and clearly both of us attach an enormous amount of importance to this visit in terms of really creating an agenda which takes the relationship to a new level. So once again, thank you very much. I don't know, High Commissioner, if you'd like to add something more at this stage. Okay, all right.
Thank you very much, sir. The floor is now open for questions. Yeah, Manish.
Foreign Secretary, one of the major takeaway from this visit is upgradation of defense relations. This is probably the first time India has given a defense-focused line of credit to a neighboring country. Could you just give details of, the strategic and defense cooperation which are envisaged in these 5 agreements? Thank you.
We actually have 5 agreements in defense. One is a framework cooperation agreement. One is a defense line of credit for the amount of $500 million. 2 of them relate to exchanges, I think, between, relating to the NDC and the Defense Services Staff College. And the 5th one is what, cybersecurity? Or for the last one is the Coast Guard one. Now, I think it's an interesting question you raised because actually, if you look at it, we on the ground and in the waters and in the sky, we actually have fairly extensive defense cooperation with Bangladesh. We've just, for example, had the Army Chief come back from a visit. The Defense Minister, our Defense Minister, was there a few months ago. And we've had, I myself seen in the last 2 years a number of Bangladeshi service commanders visit us. For some reason, we haven't actually disciplined it into a framework. To my mind, it's actually a lacuna waiting to be corrected. Because if you see our relationship with all the other neighbors, Sri Lanka, Maldives, or Nepal, Bhutan, or Myanmar, even Afghanistan. With all these countries, we do have a defense contact. Even with China, we have a defense framework agreement, we have a defense cooperation agreement. Obviously, you will have a LOC only with countries with whom you expect to do procurement. But again, we have it with a lot of our other neighbors. So, to my mind, this was something, frankly, which was, I suppose, going to happen at some point of time. Clearly, the confidence levels are high that, things have gone well for this relationship in the last few years and months. So, it seems a very opportune time to go forward.
ये था विदेश मंत्रालय का प्रेस वार्ता, जहां पर विदेश सचिव एस जयशंकर बता रहे थे प्रधानमंत्री बांग्लादेश की प्रधानमंत्री शेख हसीना के भारत यात्रा के दौरान हुए आज समझौतों के बारे में और साथ ही साथ दोनों देशों के बीच जिन समझौतों पर हस्ताक्षर किए गए उनका जिक्र करते हुए विदेश सचिव एस जयशंकर ने कहा कि दोनों देशों के संबंध जो है वो परंपरागत, रणनीतिक और आपसी साझेदारी के साथ ही साथ मैत्रीपूर्ण संबंध हैं, जिसका उन्होंने साफ तौर से जिक्र किया। और उन्होंने कहा कि बांग्लादेश नेवर फर्स्ट यानी पड़ोसी प्रथम की हमारी नीति की एक सफल सकारात्मक परिणति और परिणाम है बांग्लादेश अन्य देशों के मुकाबले अगर देखें तो। विदेश सचिव ने यह भी कहा कि भारत अपने विकास की यात्रा को अपने पड़ोसियों के साथ साझा करना चाहता है और साझा करने में अपने विकास की यात्रा को साझीदार बनाने का भी विश्वास रखता है। एस जयशंकर ने यह भी कहा कि एक सड़क का बंगबंधु मुजीबुर रहमान के नाम पर नामकरण किया जाना, एक पुस्तक का विमोचन किया जाना, प्रोटोकॉल से परे जाकर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का खुद हवाई अड्डे पर जाकर प्रधानमंत्री की अगवानी करना, ये बताता है कि दोनों देशों के संबंध एक स्वर्णिम युग की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं। आपसी विश्वास और एक बेहतरीन गर्मजोशी के संबंध है दोनों देशों के बीच में। 22 समझौतों पर हस्ताक्षर हुए, जिसका जिक्र करते हुए उन्होंने कहा कि 9 समझौते विज्ञान, तकनीकी, परमाणु सहयोग और साथ ही साथ अंतरिक्ष क्षेत्र में हुए, 5 समझौते रक्षा क्षेत्र में हुए और पीपल टू पीपल कॉन्टैक्ट और ट्रेड और व्यापार इन सबसे जुड़े हुए समझौते जो हैं ये शेष बचे हुए इन 14 समझौतों से अलग जो समझौते बचे वो हुए हैं। मुक्त योद्धाओं के लिए प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने घोषणा की है। मानेकशॉ सेंटर में अब से कुछ देर पहले जब बांग्लादेश के प्रधानमंत्री वहाँ एक विशेष कार्यक्रम में गई थी तो मुक्त योद्धाओं के परिजनों के और छात्रों के लिए छात्रवृत्ति की घोषणा, परिजनों के लिए ई वीज़ा में ढील, चिकित्सा संबंधी ई वीज़ा में ढील और अन्य कई महत्वपूर्ण घोषणाएं मुक्त योद्धाओं के परिजनों के लिए की गई हैं। पीपल टू पीपल कॉन्टैक्ट और आपसी दोनों देशों के नागरिकों के बीच में आपसी संबंधों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए 2 रेल और 1 सड़क सेवा का आज उद्घाटन किया गया दोनों प्रधानमंत्रियों की मौजूदगी में। और साथ ही साथ कई अन्य अहम मुद्दे जो कि गैर आर्थिक मुद्दे थे उनका जिक्र किया एस जयशंकर ने। उन्होंने कहा कि इनमें सबसे बड़ा प्रमुख मुद्दा रहा आतंकवाद और दोनों देश आतंकवाद की विभीषिका से कड़ाई से निपटने के लिए आम सहमत हैं और किसी भी देश को द्विपक्षीय संबंधों को देखते हुए अब तक का भारत ने सबसे बड़ा ऋण दिया है $4.5 बिलियन का, जिसका उन्होंने जिक्र किया और कहा कि दोनों देशों के संबंध आपसी विश्वास और बढ़ते आत्मविश्वास से एक स्वर्णिम युग की तरफ अग्रसर हैं। ये थी विदेश मंत्रालय की प्रेस वार्ता जिसमें मुखातिब थे एस जयशंकर, विदेश सचिव।